thanks for joining us from our studios in Israel. I'm Aaron Porras here with ILTV's Morning Briefing. Israel has just announced that it will cut its required payment to the United Nations by $2 million because of a spat of recent anti-Israel votes. The General Assembly requires that all 193 member states pay a percentage of the United Nations budget based on their GDP. Failure to do so would cause a member state to lose its vote in the General Assembly. Foreign Ministry spokesman Emmanuel Nachshon has said that the $2 million will instead be used for developmental projects in countries that support Israel in the international arena. Israel has already cut close to $6 million from its contribution of $11.7 million following a UN resolution passed in December condemning Israel's settlement building in the occupied territories. Last week, United Nations Special Rapporteur to the Palestinian territories Michael Lynk charged Israel with the subjugation of Palestinians' humanity and claimed that Israel had been cracking down on human rights campaigners. The claims were presented in a report given to the UN Human Rights Council during the Geneva-based organization's mandated session on Israel, otherwise known as Agenda Item 7. Israel is the only country targeted with a dedicated UNHRC agenda item. United States Secretary of State Rex Tillerson has publicly threatened to withdraw from the Council over its biased agenda item against Israel. A new video believed to be linked to Hamas threatens to kill Israeli leaders. The video shows various leaders within the Israeli government and the IDF through the crosshairs of a sniper scope, with a short message in Arabic and Hebrew reading, quote, "We will act in kind." Those threatened in the short clip include Defense Minister Avigdor Lieberman, IDF Chief of Staff Gadi Eisenkot, Shin Bet Chief Nadav Argaman, Mossad Chief Yossi Cohen, IDF Deputy Chief of Staff Aviv Kochavi, Public Security Minister Gilad Erdan, and the commander of the new Oz Commando Brigade, Colonel David Zini. The video has been publicized by the Gaza-based Shahab News Agency and is believed to be in response to the assassination of senior Hamas terrorist Mazen Fukaha last week. Fukaha was sentenced by Israel to life in prison for helping to orchestrate suicide bombings during the Second Intifada that killed 9 Israelis. He was later released and exiled to Gaza as part of the Gilad Shalit prisoner exchange deal in 2011. Hamas blames Israel for Fukaha's assassination, however. The Jewish state denies culpability. Speaking Wednesday night at the United Nations Security Council's second annual Ambassadors Against BDS conference, the United States Ambassador to the UN, Nikki Haley, said that the anti-Israel campaign made no sense and had nothing to do with any reasonable definition of justice. She was the keynote speaker at the event. She said in her speech that, quote, "The effort to delegitimize the state of Israel being waged on college campuses and the anti-Israel obsession at the UN are one in the same. They both seek to deny Israel's right to exist, and how tragic is it that all the countries in the world to condemn for human rights violations, these voices choose to single out Israel. We should boycott North Korea, we should sanction Iran, we should divest from Syria, not Israel. It makes absolutely no sense and has no connection to any reasonable definition of justice." End quote. Haley has consistently been outspoken about anti-Israel bias in the international community, and especially within the United Nations. Before her work as ambassador, she was even the first United States governor to pass anti-BDS legislation. Defense Minister Avigdor Lieberman canceled a hearing with Rabbi Yigal Levinstein over his derogatory comments towards female soldiers serving in the IDF. The hearing was canceled because of an objection by Attorney General Avichai Mandelblit, which clarified that the defense minister had no authority over the rabbi. Regardless, Rabbi Eli Sadan, who heads the Bnei David yeshiva where Levenstein teaches, is still likely to be summoned by Lieberman, who still intends to sanction the institution over Levenstein's remarks. Levenstein has apologized for his comments regarding women soldiers by saying that his comments were taken out of context and that it wasn't right to denigrate. However, he did defend the idea behind his comments, saying that, quote, "Women have been taken hostage by the feminist movement," end quote. Levenstein currently heads a religious pre-army academy at the Bnei David Yeshiva in the West Bank settlement of Eli. Levenstein has been caught on tape telling academy graduates that women who enter the army are driven crazy and are no longer Jews by the time they finish their service. Last year, Levenstein was also heavily criticized for referring to homosexuals as deviants. For his comments, Levenstein received widespread condemnation across the political spectrum, including an ongoing call for his resignation from Defense Minister Lieberman. David Friedman, longtime friend to President Donald Trump and bankruptcy lawyer, was sworn in last night in Washington, D.C. as the new United States ambassador to Israel. Typically, ambassadors to Israel have all been confirmed by the Senate unanimously and relatively painlessly, but Friedman was a hotly contested nominee, passing confirmation by a narrow margin of 52 to 46. Friedman, who has shown a tendency to align himself with the Israeli right wing, has invested in Jewish settlements in the West Bank and is an outspoken supporter of moving the United States Embassy to Jerusalem from Tel Aviv. Despite having no background or formally known experience in diplomatic relations, Vice President Mike Pence said that he was literally born for this job, and that it's because of families like Friedman's that the Jewish people are such a beautiful thread in the fabric of the nation. Friedman said that his being confirmed first among the new envoys speaks to the new administration's dedication to its relationship with Israel, and that he is both inspired by and is looking forward to working with Secretary of State Rex Tillerson to promote peace and stability within the Middle East. That's all for now. I'm Aaron Porras, and see you later with our main daily broadcast from Israel at 2 p.m. Eastern Time.